Night of Champions is this Saturday, June 27th at 1 o'clock Eastern Time because it is in Saudi Arabia, so it is on the early side. But here are my predictions. Bear with me. I am quite unsure about a couple of them because it could go either way, so just bear with me as I explain both sides on some of these matches. Just starting off at the top here and going this way. Starting off with Trick Williams and Ricky Saints for the United States Championship. I don't quite think Ricky is ready at the moment, so I am going to say that Trick Williams retains because I do think that Trick and Carmelo are actually going to go against each other again. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the United States Women's Championship. I'm sorry, I don't see Jade winning this. It's staying on Tiffy time. This is actually one of the matches I was saying in the beginning, so bear with me as I explain this because I feel like this match could go both ways. Seth is undefeated when it comes to Night of Champions, but also Braun Breaker is kind of undefeated in his own way as well. The only way I feel like Braun could win is if the Vision interferes. But as we saw, Joe Hendry came back and, targeted Logan. Now, Logan is not medically cleared. So, should the Vision try to interfere? Because it is a steel cage match. So, should the Vision try to interfere and Joe Hendry comes out and, tries to go after Logan, he's not medically cleared. He cannot fight back on Joe. So, Theory might get involved and, follow them wherever because Logan is not clear, so someone has to take care of Joe. So that only leaves Theory, which is only going to make Braun Breaker go into a spiral and get distracted and potentially cost him the match. But we also know that Seth is the one that wants to end the feud. So maybe if Joe is to interfere, then, it sends Braun into that spiral. And then should Braun win, maybe this is just a setup for Seth to form his own faction, for it to be Seth's group versus the Vision at SummerSlam or something, and that's how the feud ends. I mean, Joe Hendry has beef with Logan anyway, so Braun might think that, Joe is just helping Seth and not really see the other side of the picture, so the feud just might continue. I'm really stumped on this one, so I don't know. That's just my thought on that one. I honestly don't know. If I had to pick just because he's undefeated in Champions, I might just say Seth. Liv versus Io Sky. I do think this is for Queen of the Ring. I do think Io is taking this because I do think either Roxanne or Stephanie Vaquer will interfere and cost Liv. Now, the other match I am unsure of is Obafemi versus Jey Uso. The logical line of thinking here would be Oba, but I personally don't think this early as an NXT call-up he should get this big of an opportunity, but it's Obafemi. But then again, we know Brock has an issue with Oba, so if he comes back, he can cost Oba. We also know we can be awaiting the arrival of Zilla. And we know how Jay is when it comes to interferences and cheating. He's not going to want to win this dirty. He's going to want to win this one clean. So should Brock interfere, it might not sit well with Jey Uso. I'm 50-50 on that one, so I'll come back after I do the last one with just a little match I think would be cool. Cody versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I don't know. I want Cody to retain, but something tells me that Gunther's taking it. Which also brings me back a little bit because I was thinking, Oba versus Gunther. That would be a freaking match. Hell, even make it a triple threat. Throw in Brock Lesnar. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Oba versus Gunther, and then maybe even throwing Brock in there if Brock and Oba continue to have a match throughout SummerSlam, which I mean, it probably is because Brock is probably going to be retiring at SummerSlam. So why not have it be like a triple threat? You know, I feel like that would be awesome. So I feel like that's why I want Oba, but I have a feeling it might be Jay, but I honestly don't know. I know really nobody is a fan of these early shows, so fingers crossed, hopefully something really good happens at this PLE.